Why does life seem so hard? Right? That is a question many of us have as entrepreneurs trying to make all of this happen. Right? On a day-to-day basis, I've just felt, over a year and a half of just hours and hours and hours every single day, constantly being beat down, right? And constantly losing, right? I've gotten to a point where it feels like it is just a constant loop every single day, right? And these are the three things that I've learned, especially these past few weeks. I've really been understanding more my faith in God, as well as why I'm going through this rough time right now, right? So the first thing, right, something that y'all need to know is that, obviously we become anxious when we are in an area in life where we are unsure of, right? If we knew the answer to everything, if we knew what is coming up ahead of us, right, we wouldn't be scared, right? We wouldn't be fearful, okay? But that is when God comes into play, right? Obviously, if you do not believe in God, Jesus Christ, right, you do not have that assurity that whatever you are doing, eventually it will work out. God has your back. If it is meant to be, it will happen, right? And that gives me so much belief in myself and belief in Him that everything will work out to the point where I have, rid of a lot of anxiety in my life that I used to have without Him, right? And, a common saying, like, you don't know what tomorrow holds. You don't know if you're going to, blow all of your funded accounts tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to die tomorrow. You don't know if your family member is going to die tomorrow. You have no clue. You have no clue what tomorrow holds. And that is what can lead us, entrepreneur or not, very fearful and living on the edge of anxiety all the time, right? And that is exactly what God is here to do, right? We put our faith in Him, and in doing that, right, we live a more faithful, right, a better life, and a more peaceful life in our souls, right? We're always, at rest in our souls. Maybe not our physical or mental self, but our souls are always with Him, right? And I've realized there's two ways of looking at it, right? In these past few days, it has really hit me. You can either look at something positive or negative. It is as simple as that, right? When you're going through a really rough time, bro, I literally just recently blew all three of my funded accounts, right? I've been in a break-even stage for the past 6 months, half a year in trading. I've been at the break-even stage for 6 months, and I feel like I'm not moving anywhere, and I feel like I'm moving further and further away from my goals. I've paid thousands of dollars in mentorships, in the past 2 months, 3 months, and I feel like nothing is working. I can't trust anyone. All these different things, right? And it's pushing me into in a deeper and deeper hole. And I'm constantly asking God, constantly asking Him, why are you doing this to me? I'm staying faithful. I'm putting in the work that I need to be putting in. I'm trying these different things. I'm studying. I can't figure out, what's going on with my model. Why I can't even get profitable backtesting stats. Why I'm blowing these funded accounts when I'm taking good trades. Like, why is this happening, right? And again, you can either look at it in a positive or in a negative connotation, right? You can look at it as God is pushing me right now. God is doing all of this for a reason. He is doing this for a reason to build me into a stronger man, a stronger woman, right? He is doing this to make my life, yes, harder in the moment, but better later. Okay? He's doing all of this for a reason, to bring you possibly in closer to Him. And that's what it's done, right? It's gone so rough that all I can do is just lean on Him, because at this point there's nothing else I can do. Like, I have tried so many different things and figuring out this model and previous models, and it just seems like nothing is working at this point. So all I got to do is continue to put my faith in Him every single day, continue to show up every single day, and I know that with these setbacks will come further, prosperity, right? It's as simple as that, right? Like, these rough times, these tough times, these trials and tribulations, they build you into the man that you are going to become one day. It is so simple. So you can either look at it that way, and actually level up from that. Yes, it may be rough in the moment, or you can, sulk and be sad that you're in the position that you're in, and, be negative about it like I was a few days ago when the first 2 days that it happened, and it made me have, like, I had the worst days I've ever had, twice in a row, 2 days in a row. Typically it's not like that. Typically it's one day really bad, and then the next day it's a little better. 2 days, worst days that I've ever had mentally. It was just a constant battle, a constant questioning of absolutely everything in my life and the decisions that I've made. But there is no turning back now. This is what I need to do. Right? So we cannot define, what is good nor bad, but only God can. Right? And the second point, right, is when one surrenders his life to God, he kills his old self to be reborn anew. Okay, and I've made a whole video on this, that you need to pretty much commit psychological suicide. You need to kill off your old self, right, to be reborn, right? If you are going to parties every single night, if you're drinking like crazy, if you are extremely lazy, right, if you, do all these bad things, you're not putting God first, you're not doing these things that are going to level you up as a person and get you in life to where you want to be, you're going to be living a miserable life if you're not able to do that, right? So when you begin to surrender your life to God, you need to realize that I need to stop all these bad habits. I need to stop the old way of my living to now live for God, right? To now live for His purpose in me, okay? And, this is what being a true Christian, like, it's not easy, bro. Being an actual true Christian, not just a Christian that says, goes to church on Sunday and then, goes throughout their week, doing degenerate things, sharing their drinks with their buddies, getting drunk, all these different things, right? And they call themselves Christians, right? And they sin, they have this meaningless sex, all these different things, and they say, oh, I'm a Christian though, God's gonna forgive me. Okay, no, if you are a true Christian, you will know what I mean by this, right? It is not easy. It is a constant, every single day, a mental and a physical battle, right? And, when you're able to do this and sacrifice, your short-term pleasures, these worldly things in your life, right? And you're able to go through those battles mentally and physically, your soul is going to be in peace. My soul rests in God, right? And knowing that no matter what happens, no matter how long I'm in this break-even stage, as long as I continue to put my trust in Him, He will eventually make my path straight and lead me to success in this field that I have committed so much of my life to, right? So, this is Sisyphus. Many of y'all may know him, but he's pretty much just pushing a boulder up the hill, bro. I don't know too much about him, but it's obvious that I think he was pushing it for like days, and he tried it many times in his life to push this boulder up the hill for some specific reason, and he just kept on showing up, kept on believing in himself that he'll be able to do it. And it's a mix of that and believing in God that He will make it happen as well, is what truly will make things work, right? And then third thing that I've learned is that we are so used to chasing materialistic things that we are so blinded to what actually matters in this life, right? Why is life so hard? It's because you're chasing money. It's because you're chasing all these different worldly things, and if you're not able to achieve those things right now, you feel lost. You feel so empty. You feel so empty, right? And you got to realize that all these different things that we are chasing, it's all vanity, right? All these things that you see online, all these cars, all these women, all this money you see, it's all gluttony, bro. It's all gluttony. It's all lust of these worldly things, and it is not good for our souls, bro. It is not good for us. You'll realize if you lust over these things, you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing from it. That's why I begin to put God first, because I've realized no matter how many hours I study, no matter how bad I want this trading stuff, if God is not first, it's not going to work out, right? And this is a pretty good saying, right? I saw it this morning. I was watching a video. How much can one eat until they are full, right? How much of something do you need until you are done with it, right? And that's where so many people get lost in this journey. They start hitting 10K months, they get that cool car, they get that dream car, they have all that money, and then they seem so lost. Because again, how much can you have of something worldly, right? How much of something in this world can you have to the point where, it's still fulfilling? Because it's never like that. No matter how many cars you get, no matter how much money you have, no matter how many zeros in your bank account you have, no matter how many women you have, it's all vanity, right? There is no amount of any of these things will make you happy. None of these things will make you fulfilled in this life, right? So another thing I've learned, right, and it's very obvious, right? There is no fulfillment here with worldly things, right? We must share with others, right? So that's why even like right now, I'm spending so much money, so much of my savings that I've had throughout my entire life, right, that I've saved up. I'm spending all of it, thousands of dollars in crypto, right, in these mentorships, bro, in trading, all these different things. I've ran my account down from like $9,000 to about $4,000, $3,000 in just a year, right? And obviously that's including all of my college expenses and stuff like food and all that stuff, driving, all that stuff. So that's part of it. But I've spent a lot of this money, right? And I don't have the most money right now. Like, I still need to spend some of this money towards, again, I dropped another $1,000 on a mentorship last week on a one-on-one, right? And I wasn't in the best position to even gift anyone anything, right? Because I'm trying to spend all this money on stuff, but I decided to, spend a little bit of money. I spent like $80 something on gifts for my family for Easter, and I didn't have to, right? And none of them wanted me to do that. But again, it's just giving. That's not the best example, right? But like, right, but you understand the point, right? When I get rich, when I make all this money, I'm going to get the things that I desire, right? I'm gonna get, the car I want, things like that, right? But you're not gonna see me with 10 different cars, right? You're not gonna see me with all these different women. You're not gonna see with me flexing all of this money, living this flashy lifestyle, because I know it's not gonna fulfill me, right? I'm gonna give to others. I'm gonna spend a lot of this money and give back to charity. I'm gonna spend a lot of time, working with other people and helping other people change their lives, right? I'm gonna give back, right? And that's what really, really matters. It doesn't matter how many zeros in your bank account. It's about how many zeros in your bank account do you give away. How much do you give away to the people that actually need it in life, right? So finally, our goals as entrepreneurs is to spread the word of God, right? Through our business, spread the word of God through our business, live a financially free life, changing lives and giving others who are needy. That is our goal as entrepreneurs who actually want to live a fulfilling life. It is those 5 things. It is as simple as that, bro. Live for God, give back, right? Whether it's money, whether it's time, right? Whether it's knowledge given to others, right? And living a financially free life. That's really all the things that we are, thriving to achieve in this life. So those are the main 3 things that I've learned these past few days. Hope y'all are able to get something away from this video. And if you want to join the Discord, it's completely free. It'll be left in the description. We're talking there every single day. As well as if you want to join in the WAP, it is completely free. WAP course, explaining to y'all who are new to ICT, how to trade it, all the simplicities of it. You don't have to watch hours and hours and hours of ICT to become profitable. Made these few videos, free course for y'all boys who are trying to learn, and that'll be left in the description as well. Other than that, hopefully y'all boys have a blessed day, and I will see y'all sometime this week. Peace out.